Hi, this is Donna Walsh. Welcome to this week's Delavo Live session. In this week's session, I'm going to talk about importing new members. Just be aware that this is an advanced procedure, although it is easy, but it's also very time consuming to set up and add new members this way. So your best way to actually add new members is to actually invite them or send them a link to a $0 product and add them that way, because this is very time consuming. So I'll show you two different ways that you can import members. I'll tell you how to choose a separator, how to set up the fields, and much more. And as usual, there will be a question and answer on anything Delavo related immediately following the session. Okay, so as usual, you want to be in the master's mode, and you find out what if you're not sure what mode you're in, just hover your mouse over the mode, and it will tell you what mode you're in. So, of course, again, you need to be in the master's area. You will find the import under the users tab. Go all the way down to import, and you can import from here. Now, the reason you might want to import is you might want to import your members from your third-party autoresponder into your Delavo system, and then you can mass mail them and do things like that. I personally don't, but you can. So there are two different ways of adding members. You can download download files from your third-party AutoScript. I know you can do that with Aweber. You can download a file, and then once you have downloaded, you can just click on the Browse button here to upload it. Okay, but when you do upload the file, it has to be in the same order as these fields. Okay, so anything that you want to add into it, you would say which field it is. And again, anything that you add has to be in the order. So if you download a file from Aweber, you can choose what number you want the field to be. So if you want the email to be the first field, I'm not really sure how it downloads for Delavo. I mean for Aweber with the spreadsheet says, but you do have to match it to the fields here in Delavo. So if, for instance, if the name is first, then you would sit there and say the first name is in field 1 and the last name was in field 2, and then go from there, depending upon how the spreadsheet from your third-party autoresponder to set it up. So you do need to come in here before you upload the file and set up the fields. And you can choose which fields you want to enter. You can enter an email address, a password, a first name, last name, an address, if you have that, or you can just leave them no import, and then that field is not needed. So if you only want to add their email, their first name and last name, which are required, then that's all you have to do. So you would decide what you would look on the your third party autoresponder that you downloaded the list, and then set it up according to that same order. Now the other way that you can do it is you can copy the actual information here into the box, one record per line. So if you wanted it to be your email address first, you could put in your email address. Then you would use a separator, and you decide what separator that you want. And in most cases, I use the pipe symbol like that. So you would put in the pipe symbol. Where is it? In any case, you would use the pipe symbol, or you could use any of them that you want. A comma, a semicolon, a period, anything that you want to be for your separator. So you would add everything here like you want it to be. And here's an example of a of a record that you might want to copy and paste in there. So you have the email address first, you have the pipe symbol, you have the password, a pipe symbol, first name, pipe symbol, last name, pipe symbol, the street address, pipe symbol, the city, pipe symbol, the state, just the abbreviation for the state, pipe symbol, the zip code, pipe symbol, and the country. Do notice that in between anything, before and after the pipe symbol, there are never any spaces. The only spaces there are inside of the actual, like in between the street address. Right here, 123 space Avenue, or New York, New space York. But you would not have. Okay, so you can use any pipe symbol that you want here. Just make sure that whatever symbol you use, whatever separator you use, that you have no spaces between the ending of your separator and the beginning of the next field. The only spaces you should have are in between, inside the actual field, because so it would be 123 space Avenue. Okay, so inside the field you can have a space, outside the field you cannot. Does everybody understand that? That's, pretty straightforward. Kind of like whenever you're adding tags and that, you shouldn't have spaces. You should always, not have any spaces between any of the separators you use when you're using tags. Okay, if that's okay with everybody, I'm going to leave this page, and I don't want to save the changes. So you can have the fields quoted, which fields what would be. Then you just set up exactly how you want it to show up. Here, whichever separator. I'm going to use right now the semicolon for my separator. So, there's my name. Then I'm going to put in my password. Then I'm going to put in my actual name. And as you can see, I'm not putting any spaces in between the separators and any of the other information. So that's how you actually put in the name. And again, you need to put a separator between all of the fields. And in this case, I would have all the information that I absolutely need, which is the email address and the first and the last name. Now, I did add a password here, but you don't need to add a password. You can let that person do it yourself. And you can ask for any of this information that you want to use to import the person, or you can have them set it up later on. Okay, once you've set it up, you need to grant a privilege package. Now, you can do whatever privilege package you want. Now, one of the advantages of importing people is you can assign a privilege package. Say that you set up a privilege package just for JV partners. Well, you can add them here and then set up the privilege package just for them. In this case, This is just a normal one. Here's the ones I set up. By the way, you should never grant a supervisor privilege profile to anybody. That gives everybody the same access to Delaveau as you have. And the standard customer affiliate what is set up by default. You can have a demo mode where they can actually come into Delaveau and where they can demonstrate. Again, no supervisor. You can have a complete privilege package, which has every privilege granted in the customer's area. Or in this case, it says gold hosted. This is for something that is not even viable right now. This is for a hosted Delaveau account, which is no longer possible. So in this case, I'm just going to give them the standard customer and affiliate. Well, maybe I'll give them the complete one. And as you can see, when I clicked on that, it was added. And you can also include them to an affiliate program. And of course, you want to include them to your standard affiliate program if it's just a normal person you're adding. If it's a JV partner, you would want to set them up on your JV partner, or if it's a customer only, then you would set that up. Since this is just a normal person, I would just set up the standard. Okay, and as you can see, they're now enrolled in the standard affiliate program. Then you import them. Now, they're not going to be imported automatically. An email will be sent by Delaveau to them asking them if they want to subscribe, just like any autoresponder. So they will get an email message asking them to confirm if they want to be added to your Delaveau. So you can't be sneaky and just add people to your Delaveau. They actually have to agree to add it. Now, personally, I'm sure there's reasons that you would use it. I personally would rather either invite a JV partner because I can send it with just an email address instead of going through all this trouble of setting everything up, or I could send people to a $0 product so that they get added to my Delaveau system. But if you wanted to add somebody special and you don't want to go to the trouble of setting up a product package, you could set them up easily here if you know their email address and their name. Okay, I can't import myself here to show you because this is me, of course, and it will not go through because I'm already in there. So, but let me just press the import anyway. Seeing it says are required email, first name, last word, because I didn't say that. So there's the first field. There's the second field. There's the third field. I love Delaveau. It tells you when you've made mistakes. And then import. And it's telling me that there is an existing email so that I can't really add this person to it. So you can only use this when you have new people. Okay, if you want to add somebody new, which of course as I said, I would not be able to add me because I already knew that I was in here in this Delaveau. Okay, so that's actually how you add a new member by importing them. As I said, I think it's much less time consuming to just set up an invite or just set up a $0 product and have them fill in the information that they want. Though if you do know their name and their email address, it's really quick to add somebody this way. So I'm going to unmute you guys and see if you have any questions. Okay. Bill has a question. Bill? No?
Yes, I do. After I unmute myself from being unmuted, I clicked the button and I unmuted myself after being unmuted. Anyway, sorry about that. Donna, two quick questions. When you upload a file, you also have to specify what kind of separator was in the file, right?
Right. So
Okay.
when you
So like those common separated value files, those CSV files that a lot of systems like to produce, you just indicate that the separator is a comma, and then the fields are arranged, like you said, accordingly to that
right,
particular file.
you would choose
Okay.
the same separator as in the file that is used in the file, unless you want to go and and change it all by using find and replace.
Change the separator, right?
Right. But
No, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, in most cases, it's going to be a pipe symbol. That is.
Well, there's also the CSV file format, which is using commas.
Yeah, well, either one of those, you just choose whichever separator is in the file that you want to upload. Otherwise, it won't work. Okay?
Right, it won't. And then this thing that says fields quoted, so that would be
Fields quoted.
Only look at the fields.
Okay. I lost my internet. Yeah,
I thought that
like I said,
is comma separated version or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, it's very time consuming to import a member. I would rather invite them using an invitation.
Oh yeah.
Or set up a $0 product that I can use again and again and again, and just invite somebody that way by sending them a link to the $0 product. This to me is very time consuming, and but it is available for you guys. There's a lot of stuff that's in Delaveau that I personally don't use, and I have never used. This is one of them, because I found that there are easier ways to use it, right?
Right.
Easier ways to accomplish the same thing. But with Delaveau, you're giving multiple options, so you can do it different ways. So you can add new members by inviting them, by them purchasing a product, by you setting up a $0 product and sending them the thing, or by actually importing them. The only way that I think that importing them, that I would want to import them, is if I had 2,000 people on a particular list in my third-party autoresponder, like Aweber, and I want to import the whole list into Delaveau. Say maybe I have maybe I had a coaching program before I bought Delaveau, and I want to import all those members into my Delaveau system. So I would download their file and then upload it, so they would be mass imported. And so in that case, I would use it. But if I wanted to import new members that had never been on any of my lists before, there are easier ways to do it. But like I said, it would be good if you want to mass import people from a third-party autoresponder.
All right.
Or like what you were saying about, like, if you had a special product or service and you had a very small set of JV partners that you wanted to give special privileges to, and you don't want to set up your system so that there's some sort of free product that maybe some other joker might get involved with somehow, find it and basically say, oh, hey, here's a freebie, and they become part of a JV group that you don't want them to be a part of. Yeah, I could see where you could use something like this. This would be really pretty sweet. Or like you say, large customers or a lot of customers, before you got involved with Delavo, yeah, upload the file and bang,
Yeah.
you're
Like
set.
I wouldn't upload my entire Weber account because besides doing internet marketing, I have
Right, right.
health and fitness. So I don't want to upload that. But maybe I want to use my Delavo for my health and fitness group. So they're not currently in Delavo, but maybe I want to start using Delavo so I can sell them products. So I might want to download my health and fitness file from
Hey, Weaver.
Weber and then add them in here, and then I can track what products that they purchased from me from using Delavo.
Okay.
So
Now, Donna, I did have one question about the fields quoted box.
I have no idea. I'll tell you that.
Okay, all right. No, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't fields quoted. I mean, what's it? I don't know what it does, and there's nothing here to do it. I actually even
Right.
looked in the help file, and I never even
Uh-huh.
said anything about it in the help file. But I will find out from John what it is, and then I'll send you an email and let you know.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. I really don't know what it's for. And as I said, I've never ever imported members, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what difference it is. I should have actually um, done something before I had this meeting, but I only glanced at it. I didn't really go in depth to the actual interface, but I will ask John what it is, and I will add an addendum to this video once I find out. Okay.
All
Sure.
right.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay. So, does anybody have any other questions on importing members? Only on importing members because it's on the video.
And one thing that I do like is, as you scroll down on the various fields, I love the right checks to or the tax ID and the PayPal email fields. Because if you get that kind of information, boy, that does make sense to use it for your JV or special affiliate launches or whatever.
Yeah, but you would have to have that information.
Yes, right.
In order to add it, and you're not probably going to get that information from a third party autoresponder. So,
Well, believe it or not, yeah, I actually do. Yeah, I
you
have
do?
that.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
okay. So then you can. But all this information is actually on the registration form when they register for your Delavo.
Hmm.
So all
That's
this is
true. Right.
there,
That's right.
and it's also in their in when they set up their members area, and you guys know, of course, that you should use that field for something else. But as you can see, this will come up. This will already have had their name and email address in it because they signed up. But then it has all this other stuff. And then for the affiliate payment options, that's where they just add their PayPal address in that. So, but when they actually register, let's go over to in the. I'm not sure where it is. It's in the tools templates where you can actually see the registration form. I guess it's not the templates. The forms it is. It's under forms.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
there's a user registration form. And as you can see, it's the same, right? It has, zip
Right.
code, we'll write checks to PayPal, and you
Yep.
can
Tax
enable
ID
it,
and all
and
that stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you can actually require, when you're setting up your product too, this also is there. So you can require that they give you this information, making it mandatory. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, and so if you had wanted to invite JV partners, you can make it mandatory that they give you their tax ID number and their PayPal address. Um, Maybe you're using something else other than ClickBank, so you
Right.
could put in like money bookers if you want, anything like that for their payment, and make it mandatory.
Gotcha.
And if there's something you don't want, you again can change the field here. If you don't need their company name, maybe there's something else that you would rather have. Maybe you want to know what their gender is, because maybe you're selling products to you're selling female beauty products, women's beauty
That's a good
products.
point.
So you
That's a
might
real
want
good point.
to change it to having the sex, having the gender in one of these
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
fields. And all you have to do is just change it by just saying gender and then making it mandatory. And it'll show up on the text mandatory that that they put their gender in.
Yeah. So, like when you save that, let's say you do change it to gender or whatever type of thing. When you save it, then every user registration form has that field in it, or can you save it as something else? For like
Every
you said, health and beauty.
every person that comes into your Delavo will then be required to enter their gender.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So you better you better
So
know what it is
yeah,
that you're about.
so the only time that I would actually change with and with nowadays, they how many genders is the left saying there are? 56 or something? Who
That's
knows?
right. Yeah.
I know. So, you'd have to be really careful if using something like gender. So, so, but this would be for everybody that comes into your Delavo. So the
Gotcha.
better way to do it is when you set up your product and package is when you set up the required fields in your when they purchase something from you, you can actually do this too, and so then it would be specific to a particular product.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Or a package. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Which is, hey, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I could ask about gender. Then
Yes,
I
you
could.
could. Yes. Yes. So
This makeup is only good for certain genders and not for others.
yeah, you could say that when you set up the product. Remember
That's
when you
right.
when you set up a product, we're going into real crazy stuff, but I'll still leave it on the video. When you set up your product, remember there's this terms. It's probably in the package, but this is the instructions that are on their thank you page here. But on the terms, there is a terms, and I believe that's in the package.
Yeah, I think it's in the package, Donna. Boy.
So
Okay.
you could open, here, where they would
There,
have
yeah,
to agree
there.
to the terms before they purchase. You can actually add something here, that this product is meant specifically for women, and I would not say
And wannabes. And wannabes.
I would.
and that way, see, you don't have to call any names,
Right.
for females and wannabes.
So in the terms, so when you set that in the terms, they would have to agree to it before they could even purchase the product.
Okay.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I set up, I've gone into products and packages before, but I could go more in depth in future ones about some of this stuff because on the original product package interface, it was just an overview. I mean,
Mm.
I don't even think I've done a video on dynamic pricing yet, which is something I might be, would be something good for the future. Is
Oh yeah.
dynamic pricing. So,
Yeah, I love that dynamic pricing. Boy, that is really
yeah,
that has worked in certain cases that are just can't be beat. Man.
yeah. I mean, it's a really nice feature. Anyhow, I'm going to pause the recording and then we can talk about anything you want. Okay,
Okay.
so pause.